My name's Michael Blakey. For the last 17 years, I've been an angel investor, investing in pre-revenue and early stage revenue companies, first in the UK, and then 4 years ago I moved to Singapore. I am working at the moment with a number of startups, ones that I've already invested in, ones that I'm looking to invest in. So that very much looks like one of the early investments I've done through my new fund. The founder is very young. He's in his early 20s. He's not really ever built a business before. So he's gone very much from being an employee of a company to a founder and a CEO. So for me, he knows his space very well. He understands what he's trying to do, but he doesn't actually understand what it means to be a CEO. How do you actually build a team? How do you manage people who, most of the people that he's kind of worked with before have been friends and they've been colleagues, and all of a sudden you're now becoming like the boss. And quite often you're the boss of people who are older and more experienced than you. So it's how do you manage conflict? How do you manage actually team building and building a culture, as well as everything else in terms of building the product and kind of commercializing the product. So for me, he's very, very talented, but a lot of this stuff is not stuff that you're taught in school. A lot of it is taught through experience, because I've gone through that myself a number of times. I try and kind of import information and learnings to him that he can adapt to his way of working. I think our fund is more set up, it's more a group of angel investors. So what we look for is to be smart money, especially dealing with very early. So we invest in startups, pre-revenue, kind of sometimes even pre-kind of product. If we gave a lot of these companies just money, they wouldn't really know how to best use the money, and they will spend it in ways which are just very inefficient. Now, being a startup, you've always got to try and test things. So there'll always be an element of the money that you use or that they raise, which will not be kind of used in a successful way. But what we try and do is give them the support to help them get over that first hurdle. When you take on later stage funding, on the whole, they're expecting the management team to be in place, an understanding of the market, a product market fit, so they can be a bit more hands-off. So angel investors on the whole are more kind of hands-on, supportive, trying to be kind of more patient and caring capital. I sold a business with my brother that I'd done with my brother, and I wanted to do something else with him. And we had never really got involved in technology before, but the more we kind of saw, and this was during the dot-com boom in the late 90s in London. So, and I got involved with a startup there, and I was looking and I thought, okay, I don't know much about technology, but I understand what the internet is going to actually bring and how it's going to change. I want to do something in that. But my brother and I couldn't come up with a good idea, and we'd made some money, so we thought, why don't we invest in kind of early stage companies, get an understanding, and then we would either find a company we really liked that we would join, or we would kind of come up with an idea ourselves and actually do that. Obviously 17 years later we never really kind of did that, but what we found is that we went in thinking we're going to invest in the digital world, but I think people have got too focused on that. There's still amazing companies out there. Just because they're not to do with the internet doesn't mean they're not fantastic businesses. So I remember our first investment we made was into a robotics business, and then the next one was in a telco business. So what we focused on is, when you're investing at such an early stage, you invest in the people. Do you believe that they have the capabilities, the vision, and the kind of hunger to actually really build something? And do you want to join them for that ride? Because the problem is, normally what you start off thinking you're building, many years later, is not actually what you end up building. it's a journey that you've got to go on. Very few people get it right the first time. You've got to go out to the market, you've got to talk to customers' views will change, that competition will come in. So you're normally solving like a problem, but how you're solving it, you're not too sure. And that's why nobody else has done it. You're trying to go on that journey to actually figure out how you can solve that and how you can actually reach the market. So, for me, it's very much about, do I believe in the problem? And then also, do I believe that I'm investing in the right people that can figure it out? And that's what makes this all so exciting. And it makes it why you can't really study it in a book. Because when you're trying to invest in people, everybody is different.